England over Ireland, 57 points to 15 is quite the scoreline. My dad called me this morning because I slept late. I didn't get up early to watch games and asked me if I'd seen the results. I said no, and now I think I know why he called. 57-15. 8 tries to 2 is a very, very one sided affair. Um, it's hard to get a gauge on how I feel about this result because these are two teams at very different stages of their preparation for the World Cup. England have just come off 2 games against Wales and have clearly been building, and this is just another step forward for them. A very positive step forward for sure. And Ireland have had a much changed team play Italy and then a break, or at least a non-game week, and then a lot of players have come back. So I guess you can certainly say two things are true. England look very good, and also Ireland look very rusty. And there's a gap between these teams at the moment for sure. So how this reflects come World Cup time, I guess none of us can be sure. But right now, England certainly look good, and Ireland certainly need to lift. But they've got game time to do that. So I'm not writing Ireland off yet based on one result. I mean, Scotland got hammered a week ago, then they've gone and won their next result. Not that convincingly, but they've gone and won the week after. So 1 week's result, I'm not going to be reading too much into. But that being said, England looked pretty good. It was a nice day, good crowd. So it looked like a pretty good day for a rugby game, even if it was a bit warm. But I guess that's to be expected given the time of year. England were taking things very quick early. It was definitely a strategy from them. They were taking quick lineouts and they took one quick tap from their own 22. Just very, very keen to keep the play moving. And that was evident in some of their tactics. England got a penalty at scrum time early and they took a 3-0 lead, but then Ireland actually got the first try. Believe it or not, the lead changed 4 times in this game. It's just that last time it swung England's way. Boy, did it keep swinging. But yeah, Lama got the first try. It was from a Stockdale chip and chase. The bounce was pretty unkind to the English players, but the rugby ball is known to do that. It is sometimes not generous, but it was very generous to Lama, who was there to gather up on the wrong wing. But whatever he was doing there, he was doing the right thing because he was there to score the try. And that was all from an Ireland turnover after an England line-out. So they did well to get some turnover ball and generate quick play from it. So 7-3 in Ireland's favour. 12 minutes, England get a scrum and they use a set play. Singer goes in some space out wide. There's some very slick hands in the build-up, and it's pretty much an immediate strike back after Ireland's try. So England go back in front. They miss the conversion, but it's 8 points to 7. And then you felt like kind of both lineouts were struggling. I've looked at the final stats. England's lineout ended up being 100% according to ESPN, but it wasn't clean ball. There's like no measure of how well they were getting this ball. And Ireland's lineout was in pretty dire straits at times. Tuilangi at one point, he had a barnstorming game as well. He caught the ball at his feet. I think it was Youngs who threw the ball there. He pretty much had to stop flat to pick up the ball on his ankles, but still managed to pick it up and go forward. He was kind of having that kind of game when everything he touched was for the most part turning to gold. 25 minutes, Ross Byrne kicks a nice penalty, puts Ireland back in front. That's what I'm talking about, the lead chopping and changing early, so it's 10 points to 8. But then 28 minutes, and again, it's almost immediate hit back. Daly scores a try, admittedly while Conor Murray was down after having a clash with Johnny May. So with the extra man out wide, Curry puts in a nice little final pass, and yeah, Daly gets the try. So it's 15 points to 10. 35 minutes, Tuilangi gets a try. Again, it's after a scrum. It wasn't like the scrum looked like it was going okay, but the ball that came out the back was a bit messy, but still England managed to get the ball. And yeah, Stockdale's defence, his tackling stats were a wee bit horrendous. Well, 1 from 4, I think. But yeah, he came up early and it wasn't all his fault. It was multiple things going wrong with Irish defence and this game generally. But yeah, Tuilangi gets the try. And that all came from Ireland actually losing their own line-out ball. So it was a very costly thing. There's a couple of tries they conceded where they had their own line-out to win and failed to get it done. That makes it 22 points to 10. Murray actually comes back on just for like the last couple of minutes of the first half, but Cian Healy goes off. He looked pretty hurt when he was down because he was down for a long time, but he managed to still walk off the field under his own steam. So hopefully Cian Healy is all good for the World Cup. That's how it goes in at halftime. It's 22 points to 10. England looking pretty comfortable. But the second half, the floodgates do open a bit. There's a kind of 15-minute period where England were just running absolutely riot. 44 minutes, Itoje gets a try. There's a big gap. And again, it's all from an Irish line-out. They make it 29 points to 10. At one point, Tug Furlong gets the ball, and he gets put, I think it's Underhill who puts him down. Really puts him down. It's just that kind of thing. Like, nothing was going the Irish way. The English guys were just really fired up. Ross Byrne kicks it out on the full. So again, things not going right for the Irish. 52 minutes, the TMO gives Cruz a try. They reviewed it. Johnny May went close, but then he was stopped, and Billy Vunipola had to pick the ball up off the dirt, got it to Farrell, and then not long after, Cruz went over. The TMO had the footage, and it looked pretty clear that he got the ball down. So they were just checking for a knock-on mostly, but the ball had gone backwards off May. So that made it 36-10. Not long after that, Curry gets a try. Kyle Sinclair with some good hands in the lead up to that. He popped it to Underhill. Underhill ran, and Curry ran a good support line. So 43-10. Thokinasinger, 64 minutes. He gets a big gap from a scrum. Big gap. He just walked right through it. 50 points to 10. Ireland do hit back with, I guess, a bit of pride through Aki. He kind of had no right to score it because he seemed pretty well covered, but he managed to get round Itoje and fend off Daly for a try in the corner. It went unconverted, so it's 50 points to 15. But then on 76 minutes, and Cowan-Dickie has got a knack of this recently, just the opposition giving him the ball. When they've got a 5-metre line out on their own line, they stuff it up. Cowan-Dickie takes the ball as a gift and just dots it over for a try. They did check that one with the TMO as well, but it was all good. 57 points to 15. That's how it finished. Cruz did get a yellow card at the end with kind of a clothesline wrestling style thing on Jack Carty. But the game was well and truly over by that point. So, yeah, what a one-sided thing. But as I said, it is kind of hard to gauge given the different preparation times of the teams. But you wouldn't want to be in England's pool right now, and you still feel like Joe's going to have to really get those boys who've just played that first game to really step it up a notch for the World Cup. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but it's certainly an embarrassing defeat. But write Ireland off at your peril as well. Mako Vunipola went off towards the end as well. I did see a quick interview with Billy, and he said that his brother said that he thinks he's all right. So hopefully he's all good for the World Cup as well, because he only came on towards the tail end of the game. He's a guy we definitely want at the World Cup. Stats for the game: run meters were 458 to 255 in England's favour, so really, really well in charge England. 56% territory, they had 59% territory, 56% possession, so quite on top. Their lineup was 100%, as I said, if not always clean. Ireland's was 66, which is really poor, and it's a large reason for them conceding multiple tries in this game. To be fair, the English were putting on a lot of pressure on the Irish line-out. That's part of it as well. Tackling percentage, England was a very respectable 86%, making 105 tackles. Ireland made 78 tackles, but their tackling percentage was 67%. That shows you a team that is not quite ready for a test match against a team which is as sharp as England was, because 67%, even a Super Rugby team would look at them and go, damn, you guys need to up your game. That's poor, but I think Alan Quinlan mentioned it, that's still stuff that's fixable. You can fix the line out a bit more game time and the defensive stuff can come right, but it's just not a good look for this week. Individuals, Thokana Singer had the most run meters with 80. He beat 6 defenders. Stockdale was the best Irish guy with 40. He beat 2 defenders, but like I said, he didn't have the best night defensively. Defensive players that had good evenings. Itoje, 14 out of 18 tackles, so even he was kind of guilty. Eddie Jones will still give the guys things to work on, because despite that, it wasn't actually a perfect performance. There's still things for him to work on. 14 out of 18 tackles for Itoje, 15 out of 16 for Josh van der Fleer, and 15 out of 17 for CJ Stunder. Yeah, that was that game. I'll have to go talk to my old man about it to see what he thinks, but 57 points to 15 is very, very one-sided, like I say. I'll be keen to see how Ireland bounce back from this. Like I said, I would not be writing them off. And just based on this performance, if you're Argentina and France, you'd be looking at this English team and thinking, this is a tough pool that we are in. But hey, you guys let me know your thoughts on this game. What did you think? How do you think this rates in terms of England's chances for the World Cup? Also, what effect do you think this has on Ireland and their preparations? But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.